يَقُولُ. So don't try to say we don't know who the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are. We know who they are and we believe in them. We recognize them. Just because we don't kiss the feet of people, we don't throw flowers on their faces, we don't let women touch our hands, or we don't come to the graves, and you try to say we don't believe in awliya of Allah. Go and read the books of awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Go and read the works of Sheikh Pir Abdul Qadir Jilani's book of Tawheed. What do you find inside it? Nothing but Tawheed. And you trying to tell us that we don't believe in the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just because we don't rub our noses on a grave. Just because we don't put a green cloth over the graves. Just because we don't wash the graves with milk. Hindu rituals. These are Hindu rituals, brothers. What happens in Lahore at the moment? Throwing birds in the sky. If it goes to the right, it's good luck. Goes to the left, it's bad luck. These are Hindu rituals. These are Hindu rituals taking place in our land. And we try to pretend that this is the Sharia of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That you try to just defame these individuals. That's why we Muslims are in a bad state. That's a simple answer. Because our istiqamah is not upon tawheed. And trust me, we recite at least 17 times a day. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. Do we know what it means? إِذَا سَأَلْتَ فَاسْأَلِ اللَّهِ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى. إِذَا اسْتَعَنْتَ فَاسْتَعِنْ بِاللَّهِ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى. If you ask from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You seek aid, seek it from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Seek it from a dead individual. Where does it say that inside the Quran? To go to a dead man and ask from his grave. Dead people who are going to gain their reward. Come close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as you find that taqarrub ilallah subhanahu wa ta'ala is via good actions. Where communities become stagnant. Christians, Catholicism, let someone else do something for me. Let that person pray for me. Let me give. It's easy. It's very easy to give £1,000, but it's very difficult to get up for Salatul Fajr and come to the masjid and go bow down your head. It's very easy for these people. You give them, tell them to give £10,000, they'll give it. But you tell them, stop selling haram, stop doing haram, give up your haram, give up what you're doing. Never. And then you talk about change. Of course change is not going to take place inside a society. They rather come to these individuals to give them this message, this weak message, and say that this is the message of Islam. This is not the message of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The teaching that he came with to refine his people, to make them to become devoted individuals upon the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Another ayah inside the Quran that comes to mind, فَاسْتَقِمْ كَمَا أُمِرْتَ. Remain steadfast as you've been commanded to do so. This ayah, which comes out Surah Hud, if I'm not mistaken, 11th chapter of the Quran, this ayah was sent down upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Imam Suyuti in his work, Ad-Durr al-Manthur, highlights, after this verse was sent down, first we find شَيِّبَتْنِي هُودٌ وَأَخَوَاتُهَا. This surah and its sister surahs have made my hair go white. Great, that's the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Imam Suyuti mentions, فَمَا رُؤِيَ ضَاحِكًا. After this verse came, the Prophet Muhammad was never ever seen laughing in his life ever again. If he did laugh, he would smile. Very rarely would you see his back teeth laughing. Never had time to laugh. Once again, what has Islam become for many individuals? Entertainment, qawali, an-ashid, dhikr of Allah, going into this form of qash, in this fana, in a trance. Did the Prophet Muhammad ever go into trance in his life? Did he ever give up the Sharia ever in his life? They come and they say to us, you ulama only know the Sharia zahiran. We know it batinan. We know it internally what it means. Well, here's the answer from the Quran. Surah Al-Hijr, the 15th chapter of the Quran, the final verse. وَاعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. Worship your Lord until yaqeen comes to you. It's not yaqeen that you, deviant people that come with, that we reach a level that if a woman touches my hand and my feet and my body, you can't understand it. You can't understand it. If I see the Prophet in a dream and he says to me, take care of me, you can't understand my dreams. Of course you can't understand your dreams if they're full of rubbish. And you try to pretend to people that Prophet came to me in a dream and told me that as long as you come in Pakistan, then you have to take care of my flight wherever I go. The Quran says about the Prophet Muhammad, Subhanalladhi asra bi'abdihi layla min al-masjid al-haram ila al-masjid al-aqsa. He needs PIA planes to fly. He needs Saudi airlines to fly. The Quran says, blessed be Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, picked up his servant from Masjid al-Haram, took him to Masjid al-Aqsa, and took him up to the heavens. and he needs a plane to fly around, and it's your job to take care of him. Then you try to say to people you don't understand our dreams. Of course you can't understand your dreams. Your dreams are nothing but rubbish. That's what they are, and trying to mesmerize people. This ayah means وَعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ, until maut comes upon you, until death. The final words of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as-salatu as-salatu wa ma malakat aymanukum. The prayer, and what your right hand possesses. Those are his final words. His final words are not make zikr in this way. His final words are not sing a song in this way. His final words are not come and rub my feet, dance in front of me. Do you ever see any companions dancing in front of the Prophet ﷺ? Do you ever see that? Bring one companion who done that. Do you love the Prophet more than those individuals? This hadith inside Bukhari, narrated by Urwa ibn Mas'ud al-Thaqafi, who was a non-Muslim. You know what he narrates as a non-Muslim? When he went to make the agreement, Sulh al-Hudaybiyah, with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's a non-Muslim at this stage. He sees what takes place around him. He goes back to the Quraysh. Look what message he goes back to the Quraysh with. He's a non-Muslim at this stage. After alhamdulillah becomes a Muslim. These people try to pretend they have more love for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This non-Muslim, he concludes, I've seen the leaders of Kisra, of Qaisar, the Khosros, the Persians, Caesar, Najashi, the king of Abyssinia. But you know, all these leaders, they force their people to listen to them. Even like today, most people don't love their leaders. They're forced. They're forced to listen to them. But when I saw this leader, I was shocked. He's a non-Muslim and raised this hadith inside the Sahih of Imam Bukhari. He said, these individuals, the amount of love and respect they show to the leader. He says that if the messenger Muhammad is to spit, if he's to spit, they'll grab his saliva and rub it on their faces for barakah. He says that if they used to perform wudu, كَادُوا يَقْتُلُونَ بَعْضُهُمْ بَعْضًا. They would fight one another before the wudu drops on the floor. They'll catch it before it drops on the floor. And if he used to speak, تَعْظِيمًا لِلرَّسُولِ صلى الله عليه وسلم, none of them would ever look straight into his eyes. Is your iman, your faith, like the companions? Is your faith like them? That today you begin to highlight things about Islam that don't exist? اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي. This day I perfected Islam for you, chosen for you Islam as your way of life. It's complete. Islam is complete. The Prophet Muhammad said, تَرَبْتُكُمْ عَلَى مَحَجَّةِ الْبَيْضَاءِ, I've left you upon the plain white land. It's night, it's like it's day. Anybody who goes away will be destroyed. So what you're trying to say is that the Prophet Muhammad forgot something to stay upon istiqamah. The companions forgot something. And the verse of Surah Al-Ma'idah is quite clear. يَا أَيُّهَا الرَّسُولُ بَلِّغْ مَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ مِنْ رَبِّكَ وَإِنْ لَمْ تَفْعَلْ فَمَا بَلَّغْتَ رِسَالَتَهُ. O messenger, convey to the people that which has been sent down upon you, and if you do not do that, you have not conveyed the message. Now you know what some people they come and say? They say that we are lying trying to defend the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We make up these riwayat. We know these ahadith are da'if. Many times you speak to them, they even say to you, I know this hadith is mawdu'. The hadith of Bukhari, Man kadhaba alayya muta'ammidan falyatabawa maqadu min an-nar. Whoever attributes a lie to me, he knows it's a lie, let him take his seat in the hellfire. You know what they say? لا نكذب عليه نكذب له. We don't lie upon him, we lie for him. Look how foolish they are. We don't lie upon him, we're lying for the Prophet Muhammad. We're lying for him to defend his honor. Now you go back to this verse inside Surah Al-Ma'idah, the ending are left out intentionally. Because the ending is what? وَاللَّهُ يَعْصِمُكَ مِنَ النَّاسِ. Think about that. The ayah ends by saying, Allah will protect you from the people. So who are you to lie for the Prophet Muhammad? Who are you? Allah says, وَاللَّهُ يَعْصِمُكَ مِنَ النَّاسِ.